lads. How up to date to Spider-Man are we? Have we watched the movies?
I've seen both Men and Spiders.
Men and
before,
Spiders?
so-
I watch everything. So I'm pretty good.
You've watched everything.
Watch all of them. He's up to date.
Isn't there like
to date.
But you're a bit of a Marvel
isn't there
guy.
shed loads of cartoons of Spider-Man?
Oh, no,
cartoons?
never watched those.
No, cartoons like nah.
So he's not watched everything. He's
like,
I
the
have
movies,
gate
the
line.
I do
movies.
have a spider in the corner of my room
Yeah.
that I'm purposely keeping alive.
Oh, he's the catcher.
Yeah, he's the catcher. He's been doing a good job. It's one of those like daddy long legs, and he's been, every now and again I'll see like more like little mites and random things caught up in his web. I'm like, good job.
Yeah. Then we have them here at the boards. Like I constantly think that it's like you want to remove it to look clean, but really he's doing more cleaning than any of the rest of us.
You know how people spray their homes like pesticides and stuff to keep the roaches or whatever out. What if you just had a perimeter of spiders around your windows?
Pre-constructed.
Yeah, just a perimeter of spiders around your
But
home.
the spider web will trap dust too, you know.
Well,
Yes, but it will keep the roaches out.
It's fine, I'll spray.
my parents live in
I
Canada.
don't want.
Yeah, but what about-
you get both? You get the good spiders and the bad spiders.
The spiders are like
do you mean, what's the bad
natural
spiders?
pesticides,
Like
right? No
redbacks.
chemicals.
They chill, but just leave them alone.
No.
You know, when Lucas was like, I think anyone outside of Australia, like I know what's the American version of
Black Widow.
Black Widow, right? Yeah. Anybody knows Australia that are like redback spiders are the worst. It's
Yeah,
like
don't touch
you
them.
teach your children very young not to touch them. Like you're failing as a parent if you don't inform the children of the redbacks.
It's like
early on.
Australia 101.
Yes, it is. It's the most like before sharks or crocodiles or anything. It's like
Don't fuck with spiders.
Don't fuck with spiders.
Don't fuck with snakes.
And when Lucas was probably like 7 or 8, and he comes in and he was playing with a kid down the street, and they come in and they had an open ice cream container just full of redbacks, and it was no lid, and they were like, "Look what we caught," and I was like, I almost had a stroke then and there, and I was like, "What are we doing?" And the kid was like, "Oh, my dad lets me catch these all the time," and I was like, "It's bad, daddy." It's like, what is happening?
Okay,
insane.
I have heard though that the death rates of spiders are like grossly overestimated because
Probably, yeah.
Because apparently even like black widows and such, they're unlikely to bite you, and when they do bite you, they have to bite you in a certain way to actually get through your skin.
Yeah.
and it's rare for them to actually even get through your skin.
I assume the interaction in like built up areas and like with pest control regularly that it's
That being said, though, we also live in like suburbia. We live in a metro where we actually don't really get much of the super bad spiders, right?
yeah. Well, then most of it's getting picked off by like other problems. You know what I
We're
mean?
also talking about small spiders. If I saw a huntsman spider in my room, I'm freaking out.
Huntsman's, yeah. I feel like I've always
big.
lived.
Yeah.
We've just talked about like looking at houses in Chittering, and I've always lived vaguely close to the bush in pretty much all my houses. So huntsmans have always been around, and like it's always a bit of a nightmare when you turn around and that motherfucker's there. Because like I'm not too bad with spiders, to be fair, but it's more of a jump scare. I'm surprised when I notice a large one. You know what I mean?
I'm okay
with
with
it being-
spiders until they're about the size of my hand.
And then they have babies.
Yeah, when you nudge one and all the babies fly off the back and they swarm away, nightmare.
And
That's
then it's like
okay.
you don't know where they are in your house.
If they leave, you know, they're in the corners and in the roof of my house, that's fine. I can't see them. If I can't
noticed-
see them, they don't hurt me.
The last few nights we've been assaulted by bugs here at the boards. Those big black
They're
beetles keep coming in the door, and
Big what?
these giant black beetles keep trying to get through the door.
We're at that point in spring where all the animals and the insects are breeding.
It's not as bad as like the
Because you have light. They want to
Yeah, they want to
Yeah,
come
they
in here.
don't go
The
like that.
moths, every now and again, you get a moth just flying here, and you just hear doo, 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 as it just bangs across on a light.
I reckon they can smell the nerd dank. They can be like,
Yeah.
there's some meat in that air.
Yeah, it's just, why is it choosing northern boars to go fly and
Time
die?
to put some UV light out there.
Oh, dude, we did
Zapping.
that. Dude, we did that once.
Wait,
Last year,
can we even tell that? That was a genocide.
that was crazy. Last year, we had a really bad outbreak of just everything. And then so a couple nights when after all the boards were closed, we turned the lights off. We turned on one of those UV zappers, and you just, as I'm walking out on all the boards, I just hear bzz, 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 from all the bugs just dying.
it was more of like a.
Yeah.
Machine gun.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah, we well, in the morning when we came back in, there was a pile. There was a lot, man.
Oh my goodness.
One of the nights you may even have left the light on to attract more bugs in just to see how much we could get.
Yeah.
We went bug fishing.
And then the flies are too smart. See, they got the brains.
Yeah.
They don't get attracted to the light. So when we come in the mornings, the flies are just feasting on the dead bodies of all the insects that die to the bug zapper.
It shows you the level we're working with at the markets because to deal with the flies they gave us the UV zappers. That's where we came from. But the flies don't care about the UV zapper, so it's a zero pest control ability for flies. So
We're actually just
spiders.
encouraging them. We're giving them food. So
It's crazy.
So yeah, all right, spiders, right?
Yeah, do you think we could use the bug zapper to get us better pulls on the Spider-Man cards?
Historically, I like
Probably.
spiders. I think spiders are alright. I'm not really an arachnophobic type person. So yeah, I was quite a big fan of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. I know you guys.
I like
I haven't watched the new ones. The new ones with what's the fella?
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Yeah.
Oh, I've seen
Holland's very
those,
good.
but I haven't seen the middle ones with Andrew Garfield.
Neither.
Andrew Garfield I like Andrew Garfield ones.
So I saw the first ones with Tobey Maguire.
When Andrew Garfield's Spider-Mans came out, everyone was like shitting on them, right? But now it's been enough time where people look back on them nostalgically.
I think
Maybe I
it
should
was
give it a go.
I think that was just more of a time frame where I wasn't seeing as many movies, so it's like it wasn't intentional.
Because and the only Andrew Garfield ones is the only one with Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other rest is all.
Well, the Tom Holland ones got me in
Mary Jane.
because Zendaya is very fit, so I was like,
Yeah.
I'm in for this. So I was on board all the way through.
I had someone describe to me as the Tom Holland ones are good for Spider-Man if you want more of the actiony like comic style, and then the old school Tobey Maguire ones, the one I grew up with, for me is more like Peter Parker grounded to that comic book style.
Yeah.
So
I'm not very good with names, and some of like the more hardcores might be frustrated at my lack of understanding. But I felt the Tom Holland ones had the cooler enemy guys.
Yeah.
So it's like the
yes.
globe head guy,
Mysterio?
Yeah, he was cool.
Mysterio's great.
I actually thought it was Mysterio, but I wasn't willing to put money on it, so I didn't say it.
Ooh, you know what's great about comic book villains? You can guess the name, and you're probably close enough.
But he was cool, and like I feel like
Yeah.
they dealt with some like
It's like Batman villains. Who's the guy in green that gives you riddles?
yeah.
The Riddler. Whoa.
the Irish questioner.
What about the insane person that tells jokes? The Joker.
Oh,
What
true,
about the
yeah.
guy who's in a freezing suit?
Mr. Freeze.
Wait, isn't the Joker in Batman?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What the hell?
They're not that creative.
True.
Or,
Yeah.
or Spider-Man, the guy who has the sand.
Sandman.
The guy has the Sam.
Yeah.
Kingsley Sands.
All the people back then, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, all that, when they were coming up with the characters, they were just like, we combine creature, man.
I do have some
hero.
questions. Like, what's the Spot living portal? Like, who are some of these people?
The Spot
and where are they
man?
from?
He's from the animated series. You know the new one, the multiverse?
Like the movies, or is it from a TV show?
Comic.
I know him from the movies,
Got
but I'm sure he's probably introduced in the comics.
Where they've got the African American Spider-Man. Is it that one?
Well,
Miles
this
Morales.
is post multiverse when they started doing the whole multiverse thing for Spider-Man.
Interesting. Okay.
So I read a little bit of the Spider-Man comics when I was a kid, but I'm definitely not up to date. So, but anyway, we're going to talk about the new Magic set, Magic the Gathering Spider-Man. Very controversial set, actually. Seems to be people either love it or hate it. I'm on the side of I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's got cool cards, cool art, and then we'll talk about our favorite cards here as well. So now we need to also address the big chase card here, right? The Soul Stone. Does anyone have Soul Stone on their list?
I feel like
No.
yeah,
I don't have also
I feel like it was like the obvious ad, right?
Yeah.
Because it is exceptionally good.
But it's also a bit uninspired. It's generically it's an insane card, right?
Yeah.
It's a monologue.
Are you putting it? If you had 10 of them, are you putting them in 10 of your black decks?
Yes.
Yeah. I agree.
Instantly, yeah. It's indestructible.
Yeah. The return ability as well for like exile your own creature feels
Yeah.
like so good in any of your token
I'll
decks.
put a graphic up. So if you haven't, if you've been listening to the podcast, you haven't realized a lot of these episodes now I've been putting up the card just so we can kind of like you can see visually what the cards are when we talk about and ramble on.
The issue with the Soul Stone is it did not say exile a non-token creature.
Yeah.
So you can do exile a 1/1.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. Like in my Sauron deck, you just exile the army token,
Yeah.
and then now you've got every creature back you need.
Yeah. I think historically in Magic, artifact mana rocks have always been really strong. 2-mana mana rocks are generally very good, and this is another 2-mana mana rock with upside. So we're going to see it a lot. We're going to see it in a lot of black decks. The only caveat is that it does cost colored mana to play, so it doesn't necessarily fix your colors, but whatever, it still ramps you.
Yeah, I also never thought like that as so much of a problem. Like things tapping for mana, requiring mana tap for mana. It's like you're on the same route anyway. But I understand the fixing is a little different.
And we know the implication here is they're going to do the remaining of the Soul Stones.
So that's definitely the case.
So the Infinity Stones. It implies it, right?
Makes sense.
It would definitely be the ultimate what the hell Watsy if they do one stone and then just don't do the rest.
It wouldn't be unlike.
What about a Mind Stone?
Oh, that is the caveat.
Yeah.
They've got to figure out what they want to do for that.
Because it's already there's a Mind
Yeah.
Stone.
One of the Infinity Stones is the Mind Stone. And
So
there
is
already
it
exists
Mind
a
Stone or the Mind Stone? That's the thing.
Yeah, I guess you could just like.
Is it the Mind Stone?
I'm not sure actually. I actually don't know.
Wait, let me
I think I think it's already the Mind Stone, or maybe
Just write another Mind Stone.
they just delete
Oh no, it's
that
just the
Mind
Mind
Stone
Stone.
history.
So they can just do it the Mind Stone.
Oh,
Yes.
they figured it out.
They got it right.
They gave it out.
They got it. They got it.
They give it a the and then a legendary status, and it's good to go.
Mind Stone.
Just throw some .exe on the end of it, like a spreadsheet.
True. Mind Stone 2. Like,
Mind Stone is one draw cards. That's just
yeah,
cool, right?
Yeah.
What?
There's only 5, right? There's only 5 Infinity
Six,
gems.
I think.
6 Infinity Stones. Oh, because the one in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Time Stone? Time Stone what? Reverse? Takes down a turn?
yeah.
They seem to be committed to having these pretty strong, right? So it could be anything.
What's the law behind having to exile one of your creatures? Is it because it takes the soul?
Yeah, soul for soul.
Yeah,
Okay.
because in the
Is that like in the movies where
Yeah.
the Black Widow has to get?
Yeah, she has to
Dumped out.
die. To get
that,
some-
and also before that, Thanos
Sacrificed her
sacrifices
daughter.
his own daughter.
yeah.
So
Yep, I'm with you.
yeah, and then another implication is obviously we do 1 out of 6 stones, and then the art they use for the alternate art is Thanos with just one of the stones inserted in the Infinity Gauntlet, with the remainder empty.
So it might, as we go along, it might build up.
It slowly builds up, and then
Do you see some of the expensive ones got pulled locally?
yeah,
I heard Kang said someone pulled the Spectacular Spider-Man.
yeah. We had a fella from our community pull the Spectacular Spider-Man alternate art
Nice.
in the Stealth Suit Spider-Man, and
Is
they're
it the
all.
black one that you won?
I would love to have a black suit Spider-Man, but it's
it-
very much a want rather than a need.
Yeah.
Is it the stealth suit? Is it the black one?
That's one of the stealth suits.
Oh, so he got what you want.
No. He wants the stealth suit one is a different one. The stealth suit one is the black suit with the green like high tech neon. I want the symbiote Spider-Man suit.
Right.
But anyway,
right.
all the alternate spectacular Spider-Mans are at the moment Card Kingdom value $1,500.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is a realistic sell price. I think more realistically those cards go for $1,000, and then it varies in the art because there's different demands based on the art. There are certain Spider-Man suits which are just inherently more fan favorites.
Is it more like iconic to the
More
story or
iconic.
something?
Like the symbiote Spider-Man suit, the one that I really want is extremely iconic to Spider-Man's storyline. So
I assume there must be comic book collectors or Spider-Man collectors coming in. This is always the draw they do every time. But I feel like maybe that's like the Magic players are really excited for something like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
But I assume there's more outside collectors who are going to want to come in and kind of finish their Spider-Man collections.
in
by
my
coming
limited,
figures.
because I don't collect comic books, but in my very limited knowledge about collecting things, what I gathered was, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, in DC, the most collectible comics are old school Batman comics and or Superman comics.
Yep.
And then the most collectible for Marvel is Spider-Man comics
Oh, interesting.
or X-Men comics.
Yes, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What
So-
is it because they're just older storylines? or-
They're old school and pivotal to Marvel success. Like Spider-Man was pretty pivotal to early Marvel success.
You guys seen the new Fantastic Four?
Not yet.
not yet,
Not
no.
It
yet.
was pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. Well,
They went for a retro thing, right?
yeah, it was using that older. It's almost like an alternative timeline of like it's older, but they had newer technology. So it's like they were using like a different like existence, I guess, because it was definitely supposed to feel like you're in the 50s and 60s, but they had like crazy technology that will allow them to do certain things like go to space in a spaceship.
Do you reckon that's cool? Because the comics are from the 50s and 60s, right?
Yeah.
So they have that old school comic feel.
Yeah, I think it always allows them to do more graphically when you don't have to have everything super modernized. You can use more rounded edges and color schemes and stuff. But
Gotcha.
it was very, very pretty good actually. Like it's been a long time since I've bothered since like the Infinity Wars and stuff movies. It's been a long time since I've been too bothered about any of the
Yeah,
Marvel
nice,
movies.
nice.
So.
Well, it makes sense, right? Because Doctor Doom is going to be the new overarching villain, and Doctor Doom has pretty pivotal with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And them setting it like in the 50s and 60s is like a start of a timeline. It
Yeah.
feels like a new timeline journey we're going to go on. That's cool. I was really looking forward to a new Jordan Peele movie. Was Him, Him? It's just called Him, and it's in the trailers it was all very vague. It's a horror thriller NFL style football movie where it's an up and coming star who has like a lot of potential gets drafted into this program, training under this really influential football guy, and then he slowly uncovers that the training is something's not right. It's really unorthodox. It's weird and it's really trippy. People getting hurt and stuff, and it's supposed to be a horror movie.
Is it like culty kind of thing?
Maybe. Well, it's produced by Jordan Peele, but directed by some other fellow.
Which one's that?
Him, Him. Him,
Oh.
you know, the movie I'm talking about. It's just but you know, have you seen the Jordan Peele movies like Get Out?
Yeah.
And such?
Yeah.
He likes to do those movies which are unassuming. You watch it and then it's something. Then a revelation happens. You're like, this is definitely not right. Like for example, spoiler for Get Out. The black guy goes with his girlfriend to like meet their family, and turns out the family is crazy cult people that actually kill people and take their bodies. So yeah, I was really looking forward to this movie because it's a combination of okay, I like thrillers and horror, and I like football, and it's combining into this one little world. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
And then the reviews start coming out, and apparently it's terrible.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Bum, bum. Yeah.
Always reserve the right to go see it yourself. You know what I mean? Before,
True.
I've read plenty of reviews over the years of people shitting on something, and then you go watch it, and you're like, this is perfectly fine. Like, I don't know. People get snobby in their reviews, I reckon.
That's true. That's true. Also, even if it's just, you know, like junk food for my eyes, you know, I'll just watch it because it has cool visuals. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, I'll watch a movie just because it has cool battle scenes.
Yeah.
All right, now back on topic, right? Back onto the Spider-Man. Who wants to go first? William, do you have your first pick for your favorite card from the set?
I have. And I like my ETBs.
Yeah.
I am going to take Peter Parker camera.
Peter Parker's camera?
His camera? All right.
Very
And what it
It's an
does
artifact,
is
is it?
it's an artifact. It enters with 3 film counters for 1 cost. And then for 2 and tap, remove a film counter. This artifact copy target activated or trigger ability you control. You may choose new target.
Okay.
So you
it's an
get 2
artifact.
ETBs.
Yeah. As an artifact, it just has a lot of general good play, right?
Yes, correct. So you can copy any ETBs. You can even copy initiative. Mm-hmm. You can copy all the ETBs that Boris makes.
Yeah, and even though it only enters with 3 film counters,
What if you have pen harmonicon? Do you get 6?
remove film counter from this artifact.
No. If you have pen harmonicon, you get 6, right? Because you enter 3, you get 6.
Yeah. 6 counters, yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry, it enters with 6 counters. Correct. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of the activated ability.
Yeah. So I can put in my bouncy commander deck, and then I can bounce this, then it comes back again with.
Yeah, but you
3.
know, even if it only has 3 film counters, cashing in 3 double triggers is probably fine. Like, it's still good.
There's an artifact where you pay 2, it enters for 2 mana, and then you tap 2 mana, and it copies an activated or triggered ability.
Ooh, Rings of Bright Hearth? No.
That kind of vein, though.
In that vein, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I know the one you're talking about.
Which one is that?
There's
Steronic Resonator.
that's it.
Oh,
Strionic. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's the benefit with this one is coming in for 1 mana, so you could do it turn 1.
Yes.
But it doesn't have a limitation of the
true.
film counters on there. So
I think in Commander, it's just another effect. It's another one of these double effects. So you can chuck it in your Commander deck as an extra backup.
it's cute though. I like it. Like but I do think for the extra mana, I'd probably going for the Resonator.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. Unless you're cashing it.
For commander, Steronic Resonator makes sense. but
Unless you're
for
cashing in the
101
counter somehow. Because there are plenty of artifacts in Magic that care about remove counters off an artifact and do things.
I feel like in draft you could take advantage of this pretty well though. 'cause
No,
you-
for 101, it's good because it's 1 cost. Because you want to go as fast as possible. Commander, you can take it your own time, pretty much.
yeah, maybe try to get a creature down in turn 2,
Right.
so the turn 1 play makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, Danny, up to you.
I'm gonna go. Look, I'm gonna steal this before I think anyone else does. I'm gonna go for the imposter syndrome, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
the meme thing. I actually think this is probably my favorite card from the set. Like, no jokes. So it's whenever a token creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. That's so strong.
Yeah.
Like,
It's generically good.
So strong. Like I think of like an Archon of Cruelty or something, like hits your opponent, it attacks, they discard a card, they lose 3 life, they sacrifice a creature, then it deals the combat damage, so it does 3, then it deals the combat damage of 6, and then because it deals the combat damage, it makes a new one, so then that player has to then lose 3, discard a card, sacrifice a creature, and now you got 2 of them.
And they really committed because they gave it the copy of the creature isn't legendary.
Yeah.
So you don't feel bad swinging in with your commander,
Yeah.
or you don't feel bad by swinging in with all your Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
So the art, of course, is the meme panel of the point at each other. So
I'm disappointed they didn't get a third one in there. Like,
the artist could have squeezed one more.
Yeah,
in, right?
I wanted the triangle. You know what I mean? Like
It's true.
that's the classic. That's the meme of it. But yeah, it's 6 mana is a lot. I think in when you're looking for enchantments and stuff now, where it's kind of the win more situation. But it's very strong. If you can get it out nice and early.
my experience with enchantment decks in Commander is that a lot of times you're not paying the full mana cost. Right? There's a lot of ways to kind of circumvent and get around the mana cost of enchantment. So they're sneaking in there.
And there's like quite a few ways to make copies of your commander, but most of them are stapled onto other creatures. So when your board wipe goes through, it kind of knocks them all out. Whereas this stays on the field, and you have the ability to then repopulate your group of commanders again, which is very strong. Like, so many decks now survive around the abilities and triggered abilities and like static abilities of your commanders. Having multiple of them is obviously a huge advantage.
All right, so I went for a card that the immediate moment it got spoiled, I knew that it was a fun, flavorful design pick. The team that the Wizards designing these cards usually like to have a little like this is the fun one.
Yeah.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, I like that one.
Like we know, you can't have a Spider-Man story without J. Jonah Jameson. J. Jonah Jameson, it feels iconic, right? Like the voice, the look, you can't change it. And specifically, J. Jonah Jameson has a thing where he's like Spider-Man is a menace, and menace is a keyword in Magic the Gathering, right? So there's a lot of like theories on how they were going to design J. Jonah Jameson, and I think the way they did it was really good. He's a 3-mana 2/2. That says when he enters the battlefield, suspect up to one target creature, which is really cool, right? Because J. Jameson always suspects Spider-Man for being, a villain. A suspected creature has menace and can't block. I thought it was awesome because they used existing Wizards of the Coast, like Magic the Gathering design, and they applied it in a way which is flavorful to the card, specifically for this character. There's the 1-2 punch of like this makes sense. It's really cool. I like the design a lot. Plus, he's actually not a bad card. Whenever a creature you control with menace attacks, create a treasure token. You come in, you suspect one of your own creatures, and then that creature suddenly becomes every turn attacks, you get a treasure.
What colors is he?
Red.
Red. All right.
He's cashing in the treasure counters.
Because there's a lot of red and black creatures that have menace, and like getting those treasure tokens just for doing the thing you're going to be doing anyway.
Oh yeah, it just says every creature has menace. Just go for it.
Yeah, so you can there's plenty of decks now that are working off of those kind of things, you know what I mean? People like to build like, I don't know, Commander's been around for a long time, you've got access to so many cards, the kind of like, people are building tribal decks, but maybe not even tribal like of their creature types, like tribal like static abilities I'm seeing a lot as well. So the like menace ones and stuff like that is an easy thing to like build around and gets a bit of extra cash in for.
Also, just real quick, J.K. Simmons playing J. Jonah Jameson in the movies, just nailed it. Absolutely nails it.
Yeah, it's a perfect casting for sure.
But it was one of those perfect castings where in my brain now, J.K. Simmons' voice and mannerisms is J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
Now.
Isn't it funny when you watch a bit of something and then when you go back to the literature, you then can only imagine it back inside of that
I imagine it's a bit like Lord of the Rings now, where in your mind, Gandalf is just Gandalf from Lord of the Rings movies.
100%. And like when they talk about recasting things for stuff, like for movies and things like that, it is you almost have a bias on that next person that you have to get over in your own head because it's like you're kind of taking that away from them. Like you know what I mean? It's breaking the illusion that you've created in your own head, and this other person now has to get over that hill before they can get to the hill, like to the part of like impressing me.
This is off topic all of a sudden, but you see that they're doing new Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Or is it
I thought
movies
the same
or was it a
thing.
TV series?
It's a TV series. Yeah.
So they're doing a new Harry Potter series, and obviously now they have new recastings and such. And there's been a real divide in the fan base because you have people grew up with
Very much
the
so.
existing Harry Potter or what their characters look like.
For a specific generation, there's a group of children who are now adults who grew up specifically at the same age as all of those people throughout the entire movie. So
Pretty
people
much.
have very fond connections to those people. And then when you see a recasting, you go, oh, that's not, someone goes, oh, that's not what I imagined in my head. But you've got a director who has to try and
Interpret
impress,
a vision.
Yeah,
right?
every single person who watched it into what they think it
Like
should be.
I looked at it, and I obviously overall I really didn't mind it. I just wonder if like it's been long enough now that you are reintroducing Harry Potter to a new generation of children.
Yeah.
Maybe it's been long enough now that it's time for a new generation.
Well, I also think that the cultural touchstone of reading books is past us as well. So it's like a lot of a big push at the time, especially from like because I was in school and stuff. That specific time was for teachers to get the kids to read the books along with the movies and stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
And I just don't think that's happening right now.
I remember like every kid that was like a book kid would read books have had read Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I feel like they've all read Harry Potter.
Have your daughters read Harry Potter?
Yeah. All done and dusted.
All right, back to you, William. You got
All right.
You got a pick?
I will pick Marvel Spider-Man Anti-Venom Horrifying Healer.
Oh yeah, Anti-Venom's a good card.
So for white card, it's a reanimator if you cast it.
Yeah, he is bear in mind 5 white pips, so you kind of just got to be mono white. You're pretty much mono white.
Yes. So you can play this with like all the Vindicator and stuff,
Yeah.
you know?
But if you cash him in, he's solid, man. Because he's 5 mana for 5/5. His stats are on par, and when he enters the battlefield, he reanimates a creature from your graveyard. Already good, with no downside, by the bear in mind. It doesn't cost anything. It just reanimates it. And then if he gets dealt damage, he gets bigger. He can get out of control pretty quickly.
Wow, that damage bit is hell cool.
Yeah.
The damage will be dealt to anti-venom, prevent all damage, and put that many 1/1 counters on.
Because you slap,
So first strike, no problem.
Yeah.
you slap a pariah on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Damn, that's cool.
He just becomes like, I'm 20 now.
Only downside though, and this is very traditional from white, no trample.
Yeah, true.
So you do got to get trample
Easy.
on it.
Just put Shadow Spear on him.
He's
Blah.
just out there laying out 1/1 tokens.
just destroying 1/1 soldier tokens. So
Put the Shadow Spear and then GG's.
Does this feel like a very not white card?
It is white because you have Karmic Guide. It still reanimates, right?
It's
True.
It's definitely using white effects, but it almost feels like it wants to be black mana in a way, right?
Yeah, like maybe it's just the art that's throwing me. You know what I mean? It seems it's like it's dark and
Definitely.
it's kind of like the Venom thing is coming across there.
I guess it's a reminder that in Magic, even white cards don't necessarily mean that they're the good guys.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. Yeah.
So and black mana cards aren't necessarily the bad guys. So,
There's a couple of reanimator for white, like Helping Hand. Helping
yeah.
Hand is reanimate.
Absolutely.
This is reanimate. Karmic Guide is reanimate.
Arguably-
Sun Titan reanimate.
yeah, arguably, white reanimate is really good because it doesn't have any downside. Black mana does reanimate, but it almost always has a downside of pay life. Correct. And white just kind of just does it, but it's harder to achieve.
I think white is like healing, healing.
Yeah, white is healing.
Yeah. Heal, bring back to
White is
life.
like resurrection rather than reanimating.
Correct.
All right, Danny, you're next.
I'm going to go a little bit left field, and my next one's going to be Friendly Neighborhood. I don't know if the card specifically is going to be a real banger. It's a forecasted white enchantment, and you enchant a land. It says when this aura enters, create 3 1/1 green and white human citizen tokens, and then you can tap the land, and target creature gets 1/1 until end of turn for each creature you control. It's not exceptionally good. I'm going to be honest with you, but the art is a fantastic piece of work.
Yeah.
I only opened one booster pack, and I didn't when we originally did these card searches, and I looked through them. It wasn't something that like piqued my eye, but I've now taken like of the one booster collector booster that I opened, I got a full art foil of one of these, and I spent a good like 5-10 minutes just looking at the art. Like there's so much going on there. It's really cool. Like it's just really cool. Like it's a Halloween scene where he's coming down from above and like handing out candy to a kid.
Yeah.
And it's
You
cool.
quite like Halloween as well, thematically, right?
Yeah,
So-
I always, because I had like kids quite young. I wasn't. We did with my parents stuff. We weren't a big Halloween family, and it's obviously a very American kind of thing. But I learned to not humbug stuff very early because I saw the joy of the kids enjoying it early on. So even though I have no real connection to Halloween, but it was just a good time of the year where Lucas loved dressing up, and we would just
same.
usually do a Star Wars thing every year. And I was like, I think as an adult, it's easy to be like, oh, that's silly. Why do we celebrate that? But it's like it's not about that. It's about it's just a time of year where the kids can have like Lucas would have so much fun getting dressed up, and I take him like walking around the streets, and we go up into like Hocking where they do some of those like houses where they do the whole house up. Anyway, it was for me it was like a very cute thing, and I like the idea that Spider-Man's like a scary thing to kids maybe, but during like the Halloween he kind of fits in with everything else that's going on. So
this is for me. This is the scene, like the dream scene of like you imagine how a nice suburbia would be, you know, especially in Manhattan where it's such a bustling, metropolitan.
like in the movies we see Spider-Man dealing with like these huge problems and like earth-shattering issues and people like people coming from space, but I guess like 360 like days of the rest of the year, he's like managed, everything's
he's
more
like
normal.
saving cats out of trees, and just being like a good fella in the neighborhood, right? And then
100%.
the moniker for Spider-Man has always been the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's honestly super pleasant art, and even that orange glow of the sun makes it feel very welcoming and inviting.
So it's gonna find its way into a deck where every time I pull it, I'm like, I wish this was a real card.
I
But
actually don't think it's too bad. I don't think it's too bad. You get 3 dudes for 4 mana. And also, you can just tap now. If you don't need a land, you can tap it and just give 1/1 counters to things.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. So, yeah. All right, William. Oh, it's my one second about it. It's me. I'm next.
What the?
I'm next. You like friendly, nice cards, and I'm back to doing cards that are not so nice. So a card that I'm going to mention is Spider Sense. This is actually not a card you can pull. I believe it's a buy box promo.
No, you can pull. You can pull.
You can pull it? Yeah. Okay. Spider Sense will... it's also a buy box promo, so it's fairly available. Spider Sense is a counterspell. And I know not a lot of people like counterspells. I love counterspells. I think they're important in Magic. It's a counterspell that says counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, or triggered ability. It has web slinging for 1 blue. So the idea of web slinging is that it's an inset mechanic, and web slinging says that you can pay an alternative cost for these cards, but if you do, you return a tapped creature back to your hand, which can be a pro or a con. The idea of it is that the downside is you go down a creature, the upside is you get cheaper mana cost, but a downside can be very easily an upside if you're reusing enter the battlefield effects, you're reusing cast triggers, or if you want to protect your own creatures. Like this Spider Sense is a counterspell, limited counterspell, instants and sorceries, which matter, or triggered abilities, so it can stifle, but it also can be used to protect your own creatures. I like the versatility. I can protect my creatures, I can counter things, it gives me a lot of interesting uses. And at base value, it's a 2-mana counterspell, which is already playable. So.
Pretty good. Yeah, like a stifle.
I do like the idea of being able to like save a creature out of like a board up or something as well if you desperately need to. It's
Correct.
like I guess then because then you'd be targeting the
You'll be counting the tower
you'd be
spell.
counting the board up. Yeah.
But being able to reuse the ETBs matters as well. And in Commander, some of the most powerful creatures have strong ETBs. So, and also, Spider Sense historically one of Spider-Man's strongest abilities. So
the art on the promo throws me off a bit because the hair just disappears when it goes into the mask.
Yeah, it's a very comic book thing they do in the comic books, which is showing that like the Spider-Man side of Peter Parker is kicking in, like he's spider sensing a thing.
Yeah.
Spider Sense is so OP in universe in the Spider-Man comics. There's so many stories where they just get rid of Peter Parker's Spider Sense.
Oh, because they need it's going to solve too many problems.
Because you can't jump scare, you can't surprise Peter Parker because he always has Spider Sense. So, and there's this whole story arc where he loses his Spider Sense for a while as well. Anyway, back to you, William.
He's just constantly getting scared of things.
Yeah, because the writers have to be like, oh man, how do we surprise the guy that can't get surprised?
Yeah. I like my taxes. I'm gonna take this Spider Woman Stunning Savior. So it's a flying one. Okay, it's a one colorless on one blue or white. So it's a multicolor. So it's flying and has Venom Blast, artifacts, and creatures your opponent control enter tap.
So it's 2/2. It's a Authority of the Console's effect on a creature.
Yes.
Right?
And it's flying too. It's a 2/2.
Like historically, we've always seen
2
that
for 2/2.
making your opponent's stop enter tapped has always been very strong. Because your creatures entering tap just completely stops any sort of haste.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot in Commander, a lot of more this kind of stuff coming in. There's a flying white cross creature from Carl of Mana that stops all artifacts and like enchantments causing ETBs, and there's like a few things like that. And they're Staxy. They're maybe not the most abrasive Staxy, but they're Staxy enough that slows things down, like your turn 1 Soul Ring or these kind of things. And I've noticed it more. And I think in the past the Stax kind of stuff used to have a bit more salt attached to where people would get upset by it. But I think now the game is moving along so quickly, especially in Commander, it's more acceptable to be slowing people
Your
down.
treasure tokens just don't work anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, yeah. I think one of the strongest effects would be stopping the treasure tokens.
Because you want to stop one turn, like you gain so much, and also all the zero cost in artifacts as well.
Because treasure tokens still
zero cost
tap.
like bauble, your lotus petal, everything just comes in tap.
Yeah.
It would really get them.
Just slow you down 1 turn. That's all you need.
All right, Danny.
I'm going to make your life easy. If you guys scroll down 1 card from the Spider-Woman onto Carnage Crimson Chaos, this guy's fucking hell cool. It's a legendary creature with trample, and it says that when the Carnage enters, return target creature card with mana 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Again, if this creature attacks each combat if able, and when this creature deals combat to player, sacrifice it. So the mayhem is you can play it from when you discard it.
Yeah.
When you discard a card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of like looping the reanimator with the 3 cross creatures, and then like doing something like Fleshbag Marauders. Like it comes in, everyone sacks a creature, and you clear the way for Carnage to come through and do the combat. I think it's fucking cool.
Carnage has always been kind of the cool villainous character in the Spider-Man lore, right? Venom went from being the villain to they kind of changed him to a bit of an anti-hero.
Yeah,
Like he's troubled but got good intentions ish. And Carnage is irredeemably a villain.
Yes,
Right. He's it's the symbiote on a psychopath. Plus, every single art of Carnage has always made him look really cool.
Yeah, the art piece on this is very cool.
So I don't know if you guys have checked it out, but every single one of these Spider-Man cards has an in-universe version because Wizards of the Coast don't actually have the license to do these cards digitally, but they want to release the set on Arena. So every single one of these cards on Arena is completely redesigned for in-universe. So different name, different art, and different effects.
You're showing us some of
effects.
Some of them were quite funny.
But you can check them out right now. Like if I hit this through the Open Pass. So the in-universe version of Carnix is Deserex, Gift of Servitude. Also, really cool looking art.
Oh, damn,
not too
that
bad.
is cool.
Yeah.
Are they going to release this later on a?
I imagine they'll reuse the art on paper at some point. But at the moment, you can only get them digitally. The one that really has been catching people's attention is Fleam.
Yeah, the Fleam,
Yeah. Have you seen it?
You seen the Fleam?
What's Fleam?
Green Goblin in
Fleam
universe.
was the ultimate meme, and that's what it was.
Yeah, literally. In universe, the Green Goblin is Fleam. And Fleam is it's just a funny, cutesy goblin creature, which the internet really started to getting attached to.
Do you remember that
Silly
secret
looking.
lair where they got the children for the what's that charity called?
Extra Life.
Extra Life.
Yeah.
They got the children to draw the idea of like what they think it was, and then they had the artists do like expert versions of the things. The Fleam looks like something came out of that. Like it's this weird little goofy looking creature that kind of looks like a foot with no like tiny little toenails on it, and it's become very, very popular because it's like a cute little guy, you know what I mean? So it's been pretty popular across the internet.
Speaking about cool arts, one of the big headlining features of the Marvel Spider-Man set is the alternative arts they've done for reprints. The special guest slot, I think they call it, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, special guest reprints, where they take existing Magic cards and they put new art on them. They usually like to do really creative stuff like comic book panels or scenes from famous other circumstances. One of my personal favorites is the new Ponder art.
Oh, I like that.
Reese pulled one and I bought it from him.
It's just Spider-Man hanging
looks-
out, contemplating. But
it looks really good.
Yeah, it's proper metal.
In person, like the foil of the card and like the setup, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
He was like, I'll give it to you for $40. I was like, fucking.
I reckon in the foil it looked great. Yeah,
it does look.
for
I'll
sure.
show you after. It looks really, really good. So, I thought the funny one was the Lorthos, which is obviously Dr. Ock, because like Lorthos is like is a world weight card from way back in the day. It's a big
Oh yeah,
Yes.
and it's also a weird wacko card, right?
yeah.
It's something about the number 8 because Octopus has 8 arms.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's funny, like the pre-constructed 60 card decks, the Lorthos and the it's a Phyrexian troll. I forget the name. Thrun, the last troll. The Thrun one from Phyrexia and the Lorthos from Worldwake were the two first pieces of Magic product that I ever bought.
Holy moly.
So they're two different sets from two slightly different, I think same year or like a year later from each other, but they were the two pre-constructed ones. And it was actually I bought them at Just Cards when Just Cards it was further in the markets from next door to us here at Boards. But that was my first introduction of Magic product many, many, many years ago.
Damn.
All right, speaking about Fleam, actually one of my picks that I actually wanted to talk about was Norman Osborn and Green Goblin. So for some of the more iconic characters in the Spider-Man universe, they've decided to give them legendary creatures, so you can play them as commander. Specifically, they've stuck with a theme, which is each of these have their face side and then their alter ego side to represent that they're day-to-day lives and then their like villain or hero sides.
Nice. Are they the same on either side, or they change?
They're
up?
not the same on both. So they're different on both sides.
Got it.
For example, you have Norman Osborn on one side, and you have the other side is Green Goblin, his villain side. And then you have Peter Parker, and you have Spider-Man. And you have Gwen Stacy and then the Ghost Spider, for example. There's just some of the chase cards actually right now. The big chase one is, I imagine you're going to talk about it, William?
No.
Eddie Brock? No.
No.
Ooh, we'll talk about it later then. All right. Norman Osborn is the one that caught my eye. I think for me, he's the most interesting of the designs. Norman Osborn is 2 mana for a 1/1 legendary creature, human scientist villain. Villain is now specifically a keyword that matters now. Villains and heroes.
Yeah.
Norman Osborn can't be blocked, sure. Whenever he deals common damage to player, he connives. Connive is a keyword that I actually like playing with. Conniving is you draw a card and you discard a card. If you discard a non-land card, you put a 1/1 counter this creature. And then for 4 mana, you flip Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn specifically is in Grixis colors. Blue, red, black. We've talked about it in the podcast before. Grixis colors, these colors specifically, blue, red, black.
Up, yeah.
We love these colors. These colors are fun. They're awesome. They do some really powerful stuff in Commander. Green Goblin, the flip side, is 4 mana for 3/3. Notably, you don't have to play these cards on the face side. You can just play them straight away for the villain side.
Oh, cool. That's interesting.
Oh, so you can play either or.
So all these cards are either or. If you want to cash in the maximum value, you can play Norman Osborn side and then later and get the Green Goblin. But if you want to, you can just play straight away into the Green Goblin side too by paying 4 mana. He's a 3/3 flying menace. I think the menace is a cool touch because he's a villain. Spells you cast from your graveyard cost 2 less to cast. Each non-land card in your graveyard has Mayhem. The Mayhem cost is equal to its mana cost. Mayhem is a keyword that says you can cast a card from your graveyard for its Mayhem cost if you discarded a card this turn. So basically, Green Goblin says you can replay all your spells from your graveyard by discarding a card.
Oh, damn. That's pretty good.
But
Also, it costs 2, right?
But it costs 2 less.
Oh, 2 less.
2
Shit.
less.
Yeah.
So all your spells from your graveyard cost 2 less if you also discard a card.
And it's like if you get the cycle right, you can discard a card now and play something out
Play
of your
later.
graveyard. Yeah, just cycle around in circles.
Yeah.
Damn.
I like the idea of playing Green Goblin and committing to all the Green Goblin knee cards in the set. There's a bunch of artifacts and spells, which are like the bombs, like the pumpkin bombs he throws. So I think he's a fun design. I like playing cards from the graveyard.
I'm playing a Lysolda deck, which is just a Rakdos classic like commander from the original Ravnica. And it's doing effectively that, but that sounds like that does it much better. And now I'm like, is this another Rakdos deck that's going to inevitably turn into a Grixis deck?
The important thing to note as well, that on the Norman Osborn side, when he's collecting +1/+1 counters from Conniving, when he flips over to Green Goblin, he does keep the counters. So your best...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
he's not leaving, I guess.
Exactly. And he's only a 2-mana commander, so he comes in super early, and you want to cash in a Connive a bit, get Norman nice and juiced up, have plenty of cards in the graveyard, flip the Green Goblin, and start cashing in the value.
He's getting hit with a truck in the air.
Yeah, and also specifically Norman Osborn's side can't be blocked. So you're getting the guaranteed Connive.
Oh, you're getting it anyway. That makes there's the value for why you would do it that way like some of the time anyway.
It's pretty good.
And then obviously the internet loves him because the in-universe version is Gobin, gene splicing savant that flips into Fleam, Gobin's creation.
Yeah.
And this is Fleam William for reference.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The internet loves this guy, bro.
Yeah, the memes are...
It's like How to Train a Dragon.
It's like How to
Oh,
Train
it
a
does
Dragon.
look like a How You Trade Dragon. Yeah.
Damn.
So it is. We talked about this before with Mr. McCang and I. It's so much. If they're going to redraw every single one of these cards, and because they need it because it's in standard, right? And they can't put the digital asset into the standard online. But there's going to be multiple Beyond Universes sets now in standard. They're going to have to redo the entire set multiple times now. Maybe sometimes they'll get the license. Let's say, for example, I don't know. I'm just spewing words, but like for Avatar, maybe they will get the license to put that online, whereas Spider-Man they can't because there's other Marvel online cards. So maybe they won't have to redo all of them, but they are going to have to redo a number of them, and that's just so much effort for artists and designers and things that they're taking away. Like, out of the battery, they're using 20-30% just to make additional time for
There's so much up.
yeah. And then it's like, it also means if they're putting all that effort in, and if it doesn't translate into card versions of it, they're missing out on, like, I guess it's more probably they're not missing anything because they're making so much money. But for punters who really want to see a Fleam on the deck, you're either going to see proxy versions of it, or people who would be willing to spend that money on it but not being able to get a hold of the piece they want.
All right, William.
All right. I like my artifacts. I'm going for Iron Spider stock upgrade.
This card actually almost went on my list as well.
3 colorless, legendary artifact creature, Vigilance. Tap, put a 1/1 counter on each artifact creature or vehicle or vehicle you control. For 2 mana, no tap, just an ability. Remove 2 1/1 counters from among your artifacts you control and draw a card. Read the keyword is among artifacts you control. So you can remove 1 from each of your artifacts, not just 1 creature.
Damn, that's actually good as shit.
So if you have like 10 1/1s and then you put 1/1, you just
what's the
remove.
one construct that just taps and put 1 counters on all artifacts you control?
I can't remember that. That's a 2 cost, right?
The 2 cost one.
Yeah.
So for 1 more mana, you get a better.
When it says, Are you talking about you'll be able to do multiple cards, or just means you can just
No. You draw. You can take away from one of each. You don't have to take from one.
Yeah, got it.
So if you have like 2 or 3, now you put one on each.
Sorry, yes.
You just take one off counter from
Yeah.
each.
There's
So
also-
the condition is pretty good.
because it's like from any artifacts. There's plenty of artifacts that build up with stacks of like one counters that aren't necessarily useful to anything else as well.
Yes.
You just take some counters off like a Triskelion.
Yeah.
And draw cards instead. So he's for 1 more mana than was it Metalwork Colossus? No, not Metalwork Colossus. What's that one card that
Oh, that taps and gives everything a
gives
counter.
everything +1 counter?
I can't remember.
It's a construct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steel Overseer.
Steel
Steel
Overseer.
Overseer, yes.
Oh my
good,
God.
good job, Kang.
All right, so for 1 more mana than Steel Overseer, you get a better body on Vigilance.
You can avoid bolt too.
So it does the counters on everything, which is really good, but also get your card draw. I like this. I think you will see this in artifacts.
Because it's also added into the vehicles as well, which is a big.
It has vigilance as
obviously
well.
far more prominent now than ever before.
I would rock and roll this in artifact decks just because it's
And I can play it on
additional
turn
card draw.
1.
Yeah. If you just play a
Workshop.
bunch of mana rocks, you're
No,
out.
I'll just workshop it.
All right. Well, workshops in a special case. Workshop's a
Workshop.
special case.
All right.
It is cool to think of Spider-Man hanging out in his workshop, though.
That is true. All right, Danny, you got one more?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Web of Life and Destiny. So
Ooh.
it is 8 mana, which is a lot, but you can convoke to cast it, which is always handy. And it says, at the beginning of combat on your turn, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield, put the rest on the bottom of your library. The 8 mana seems like a lot, but specifically in like 1/1 counter, 1/1 token decks, I feel like I've got a few decks where I could get this out by like 3 or 4 turns, and it really starts putting in work. I think it's not like a massive beefer card, but for a bit of commander bling, so I think it's pretty cool. The art's really cool, and I specifically have a spider tribal commander deck, my Duran one, which already moves a bit slower and survives with like board wipes and protection spells. So it's like this is. Of all the spidery things that have come out, this feels the least egregious to put into my regular spider
I
tribal
was
deck.
going to ask you, with this much more spider cards, how many of them are going to find a place in your spider decks?
I built my Duran deck very like
On flavor?
on flavor, so I'm not a lot of. There's probably not going to be any like spider hams or anything going into that deck. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I do. This one does look like a spidery looking creature.
You can put anti-venom in it. Oh, spider!
Like walking across a web. Like I'm actually not sure what that is. That a guy sitting on a spider?
Not too sure. I guess for you, when the in-universe versions of the cards finally appear, it would make great sense for you to finally put them in the cards.
Yeah,
right?
very true. If the in-universe ones translate across into real cards, I could probably do a complete swipe.
Yeah,
of
you
You
would
need,
get
cards.
so
you need to
much
change
more
all your
spider
lands to the spider lands.
I thought about that. The forests look really cool, right? But the plains and the because the Duran is black, white, green.
Yeah.
The plains and the swamps of a city.
Yeah, you got Manhattan.
Yeah,
for your lands.
they're like cityscapes.
No, I'm talking about the web ones.
Yeah,
the
yeah. But if you
symbols.
look
In the
at the
background.
background,
Oh, really?
of the web, yeah, the forest is like the central park, so it's very tree, which is quite cool. But all the rest of them are like city locations with the web over the front.
plains
of them.
is straight up you just overlooking Manhattan. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
So it's like, and because I've some of my decks I'll beef out like hardcore. Like my Sauron is just like the best slotted, like most expensive cards in slot. But some of my more casual decks, like the Duran, I've stuck with the flavor for like over 10 years now. So there's no.
you got to commit.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy for it to stay in like a lower tier ability deck to keep the flavor and just crack it out. You know, sometimes if I've played with mates a few times and I've won 3 games in a row, I'll crack out the spiders and just cock around for a bit. You know what I mean?
A part of me wants to go back to building a spell slinging style deck. So I was thinking of maybe building Norman Osborn.
Oh yeah, very cool.
But then a part of me was maybe I just wait for Fleam. Do I try and get Fleam instead?
yeah.
So, all right. Speaking about the right colors for Norman Osborn, we have Behold the Sinister 6.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a 7 mana card, granted. 7 mana sorcery that says return 6 different target creature cards. 6 target creature cards from your graveyard with different names back onto the battlefield. The whole different name thing, not a big deal. If you're playing this card in Commander where you're playing Singleton, so it just is straight up 7 mana, cash in 6 cards from your graveyard.
Yeah.
Back out to the battlefield. It's kind of cool. 6 cards, 6 creatures is a lot of creatures.
Yeah.
On a stapled on one single reanimation spell. Rock and roll, dude. Like most of the time with sure you can probably play like Living Death or Rise of the Dark Realms, but having additionals of these effects in a black reanimation style deck, and black mana is really good at just getting a lot of mana ahead nice and early, and getting 6 creatures back out of your graveyard is probably going to win you the game.
Yeah. I think this is as well as like you can always go for the bigger, flashier ones, but sometimes it's just an efficient spell doing its job a little bit like a turn or two earlier is going to make a big difference in how that gameplay turns out, you know? Like post board, I feel we're in the era of board wipes in Commander as well. Having something post board wipe which can reset you, does a lot.
You see the life leave someone's eyes when the board had to commit really hard on a board wipe.
Yeah,
and you just bring it all back.
Bring it back, yeah. And that's I'm seeing that more as there's so many casual players, which is it's important. It's good. It's definitely not a dig, but a lot of casual players will hit the board wipe. And then the next player gets their turn, next player gets their turn, next player gets their turn. And by the time they get back down around to the player who board wiped, the other 3 have like almost completely set back up again. And it's all they've done is like take a turn, and now they're the ones behind because they're on the back foot. So
yeah. All right. Do we have any more, gentlemen? Otherwise, I want to sneak in one more card.
All right, I got one more. I'm gonna put in Arachne Psionic Weaver.
Arachne Psionic Weaver. Mm-hmm.
So I like it because it's a text card. I like text. So it's 1 white, 2 colors, legendary white creature with web slinging 1 white. As Arachne enters, look at the opponent's hand and choose a card type other than creature. Spells of chosen type cost 1 more.
Yeah.
So it's a text card.
Yeah.
So I can return something, look at your hand, and say sorcery.
Yeah, the big one is the web slinging, because then it comes out for 1 mana.
Yes, sir.
Have you guys had a chance to play in the sealed or any of the drafts?
Nope.
No, I was trying to get here last night, but I didn't get off work early enough, so I'll be here for next Saturday.
I haven't played it, but I've been watching the pre-releases and the drafts happen. This web slinging mechanic is quite strong and limited, because just cashing in that
makes sense
ETB
to me,
again. Yeah.
It gives you another enter.
Like, would I pay 3 mana for a 3/3? You know, it's like maybe, but if I want to pay 1 mana for 3/3, hell yeah.
Well, if you're playing like a creature deck, and then you just don't care about sorcery or instant, you just web sling this and then put it back, and then web sling it again. Once it's attacked, you can web sling it again, and then.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna quickly sneak in as well. I'm gonna talk about a more expensive card. This is one of the chase pools in the set. Eddie Brock and Venom, specifically. The art they've done for the like the alternate art, the one where they did the comic book one, where they've taken existing comic book art and they've reused it on a Magic the Gathering art.
Yep.
This is one of the big chase pools you can only get out of the collector booster. I think, William, you pulled one, did you?
2. Which
pulled
one?
2?
I'm trying to find it. Which one are we
It's the one where he's all menacing looking.
Oh, yep. Cool. Go to it.
Yeah. The borderless one, sorry. It's the borderless non-comic framey one. This Eddie Brock, this card is really good. And has really awesome art. Specifically, this one here, Eddie Brock, is a 3 mana 3/3 that says when he enters the battlefield, you return target creature card with mana value 1 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Sure. How many 1 mana creatures are you really playing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he does have 6 mana in black, red, and green Jund mana. Once again, those are 3 colors that we mentioned in the past.
Yeah,
really fun to play. Jund is kind of cool in Commander. And he becomes Venom Lethal Protector, which has Menace, Trample, Haste. Whenever a Venom attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, you draw X cards, and you may put a permanent card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, where X is the sacrificed creature's mana value. You sack a creature, you draw an insane amount of cards, and then you play another thing down. Notably, it does tick down, so you are netting some creature loss in value. But you're drawing so many cards, man.
I hadn't seen the reverse side of that card.
It looks sick.
It's probably the coolest looking card in the set.
Yeah. Yes. This is why it's the chase card. Because this is a iconic Venom cover. So when Venom was first being introduced and they were really trying to push Venom as his own character, they realized how popular he was.
Yeah.
And he started getting his own series of comics. This cover art is awesome.
Yeah. That is fucking awesome. I realized after from going through these that the Carnage one, the Carnage and Crimson Chaos that I mentioned before, that was because I liked the comic book art on that one as well. Like this one,
that's sick.
This one looks sick.
Yeah, all the symbiotes, the way they draw them, where they have that super highlighted color look, love it. I love it, and it's why I love the black suit Spider-Man, that symbiote Spider-Man so much as well. Yeah, this is a combination of hits the right part of my brain, which is cool comic book art, and has the right colors, red, black, green, and also just crazy reanimation, powerful effects. He is a 6-mana commander.
Yeah.
But hell, rock and roll, dude. Go for it.
Very, very
Cool card.
I hope I can pick up one of those for my like personal collection there. The art's fucking sick.
Yeah. Specifically, this set is very much a love letter for comic book nerds and comic book fans, which is why the comic book cards are the hardest ones to pull and the most collectible.
Before I've got a couple of uncommons I want to mention, which I think are just pretty good for like commander staples. But before I do that, can you guys pull up the source material ones? I just want to see what would be your favorite picks out of.
What do you mean by source material?
Like, you know how there was the Ponder and the Olorthos?
Oh,
like,
right.
because there's
yes.
there's some really cool arts, and like I think the Skithrix is an absolute banger standout.
Yeah, the Venom sitting on a chair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's amazing, and also the new Beast Within. I think that's fucking awesome.
Right of replication.
There's so many cool ones to mention.
What's the right of replication one?
This is lots of Spider-Man.
It's just Spider-Man filling the entire
Oh
card frame.
yeah. I used that art for one of the.
We've
drafts.
mentioned Ponder already. I love the traumatized art.
Traumatized.
It's Mysterio lifting his head, and as Spider-Man's trying to shoot a web, and
Yeah.
it's being like, "What the fuck?" My favorite one of the lot has, I think I'm gonna call. I caught my eye. I immediately knew this was the one for me. Was the reanimate art?
Oh yes,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Reanimate's fucking cool. Man.
Yeah, the reanimate art. It is Black Suit Spider-Man. It's the symbiote Spider-Man coming out of the grave. This is a pretty pivotal story arc in Spider-Man. This is the one where he loses to Kraven and he gets buried alive in the Black Suit Spider-Man. But the symbiote keeps Peter Parker alive and gives him the strength to climb out of the grave and take revenge.
Nice.
So it's proper metal.
Actually, a lot of these are awesome. The Arachnid Genesis is awesome. The Arrastor, the Endless Web is fucking very cool.
So we're talking about what they call the source material arts, where they use the comic frame for existing cards, the reprints. These arts are so cool. I wish they didn't have rules text. I almost wish they were just full art.
Yeah, I hear.
Because not all of these cards do super well with the framing, and it gets too busy with the text.
It's not as maybe as cool as some of the other like sick looking Venom cards, but the Rest in Peace, where it's got like Ben Parker's gravestone,
Yes.
a really cool like use of like art there to represent a card and what it does. I think that's very cool.
I think for the card designers, they've had to do a compromise because you want the cards to still have rules text, and you want to make them readable. So they've given them like the black on white type text, so that it always stands out in any sort of background.
Yeah.
But it's still not perfect. Especially, for example, some cards just have too much words. Look at comeuppance,
Oh, yes.
where it's already a
Punching.
card that has black and white, and then the black and white text is all over the card.
Yeah.
It's just super busy looking for me, and I wish it was just art.
Just art.
So, but these are actually very sweet. Me likey.
So I've got a couple comments I want to go through just too quickly, the two of them just really quickly. There's the Spider-Bot. It's a 2-mana colorless artifact. It's a 2/1 with reach, but it says when this creature enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it on top of it. I'm still constantly playing Commander games with people where they are not mulliganing correctly and they're getting land screwed into the game.
Yes.
So this is a cool little guy. He gives you reach. I mean, you got a decent block out of it for the first time he comes through, and he mana fixes. Like your mono reds, your mono blacks, your mono blues, or any of the combination of those three where there's not decent ramp. Like and like I still see people putting in your arcane signets and your soul rings, and then and not a lot of ramp outside of that. So this is like a cool little guy which still gives you something to block with, at least one shot with it, and you've got a bit of mana fixing. Unfortunately, it goes on top of your library, but that's still better than spending the next 4 turns not drawing a land and not
It's
doing
still
anything.
Wouldn't you rather be playing the Chimera from...
There's a few. I think. I think
there are a lot of artifacts that get you.
Yeah, there's a few creatures. There's one
put in
that
your
I was-
hand. That one's put in your hand.
Burnished Heart and such.
Yeah, the Burnished Heart is because it costs you 3 and then 3 to do again, so 6 before you get on the field, or maybe it's 2 and then 3, right? But it's like this just gets you 1. There was a spell from Strixhaven where it's just 2 mana and you gain 3 life and you go search for a basic land card, put it in your hand. I think that's really good as well. It's like these are low cost, like literally 30-cent cards that you can put into your deck. That's gonna stop you sitting there for 5 turns and do nothing.
To this day, people just get absolutely owned for not drawing cards.
For drawing cards, yeah.
And I will have a chat. I was playing a game with Sean the other night, who works here as well. he was just wasn't drawing lands. And afterwards, I had a 7. Sean was like, Sean, how many lands do you have in your deck? He's like, yeah, I got a lot, man. I got 34 lands in my deck. I'm like, 34 is not a lot of lands.
Yeah.
34 is super skim.
Yeah.
I have a mono black deck where I'm running 35 lands plus an additional 2 modal face cards. So it's actually 37 lands. And I'm running 10 mana rocks.
Yeah. And
Like, bro,
it seems,
34 is not a lot of lands.
okay, we've talked about this. It seems boring to take up slots for the basics.
Fun cards, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but with the basics, you will have actual fun. Like you will play
Yeah,
the game.
you know, you taking away basic lands to put cool cards in is cool until you don't draw lands.
And when you have
Then
heaps
can't
of
play the
decks,
game.
just build another
Because,
deck with the other cool cards.
Like the
man.
day I was playing the dragon deck, you only need a couple of cards to win the deck, so you win the
Yeah.
game. So you just need to have mana to win
actually
the game.
do it. Yeah,
Correct.
And like what I like about the little spider bot thing is it has reach, so at least you can it's a blocker at least for a turn. It
Yeah.
might save you, or someone will sit there and be like, you know, they've got a big dragon, for example, and they're like, well, he's got reach, so I may as well do the damage to this other player. It's just like that tiny little bit of extra reach is just enough to be like, oh, okay, you know, it's going to give you just a little bit of benefit, and you've color fixed yourself for now.
Yeah. And flying threats are the most dangerous threats in a game of Commander.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like it's not actually stopping you take damage, but politically, someone might not hit you because it's gonna hit someone where they can actually deal the damage, right? The other one I've picked up on is Rhino's Rampage, which is another uncommon, and it's either a red or green. You could 1 mana, you can pick either whichever one you want to spend on it, and it says target creature you control gets +1 until end of turn. It fights target creature an opponent controls. When the excess damage is dealt to a creature an opponent controls this way, destroy up to 1 target non-creature artifact with mana 3 or less. So it's a fight spell that you use as removal for 1 mana, and it removes a artifact from their field. So it's like it'll hit a Soul Ring or an Arcane Signet or whatever it is you're trying to hit off. It's like it is a sorcery, but it's just for 1 mana you can both use your big stompy creature to murder one of their creatures and destroy an artifact.
Yeah,
and
2 for 1 is solid.
2 for 1 for 1 mana. I'm on board, baby. Let's go.
Yes.
It's like I actually think this is a bit of a banger, and I will look to put it in a few decks just because again it's cheap. Your money cost is gonna be like 30 cents, and you're hitting 2 for 1. On board, baby.
Yeah, underrated card. It's one of those like bargain catches because artifacts are constantly some of the scariest things.
Yeah.
Artifacts and enchantments are always the scary things on the board.
I think we're past the point now where people can get mad if their Soul Ring gets blown up in the early turns.
That Soul Ring, right?
Yeah, it's that
Gotta
Soul
take
Ring,
that.
yeah.
Got to take that ramp down a bit notch.
Like you play like I don't know. You play your 3/4. You can take out their commander and their Soul Ring turn 2.
Ja-ja.
Dude, if I'm overloading Blast and I'm taking out 6 of your mana rocks,
Yeah.
you can't be upset at me. You got too much mana.
Yeah, but I like those. Like they said, they're not bangers. They're not going to like break the mold or anything. But if you're a commander player and you're putting together budget decks and stuff, which I'm always a big supporter of, is like these are cool little additions that are just going to make an easy pick over something else. You know.
Alrighty, and that's towards the end of our Spider-Man,
Spider-Man,
favorite cards,
Spider-Man
Magic the Gathering episode.
does everything
Thank you for tuning in
that
as well.
Spider-Man
We got a bunch of extra Magic the Gathering things around the corner as well. We got more Spider-Man drafts coming in. We got drafts every Saturday night. There's going to be a bunch of events. They want us to run a bunch of events of Spider-Man. We have 2 Commander parties in this season, so keep an eye for those. Those are weekend Commander events. We give out promos,
Nice.
alternate rules. There's a special, instead of a set championship for this set, they're doing what's called the Final Battle, which is a spin on a store championship, where instead of giving away a promo card, we're giving away a comic book.
Oh,
So you
yes,
get
yes,
you
yeah.
get an alternate art comic book as your winner prize, which is actually, in my opinion, very cool. So keep an eye for those ones there. Thank you very much for listening in, guys.
Charles, meows.
Lovely. See you.
They